What's up everyone? Welcome back to CBX Media. I'm Chad Fisher, aka the Chatterbox, and today we're talking about Lost at Sea. An indie game released recently for next-gen consoles. On the surface, this is your normal indie game. Great ambiance, simple mechanics, but under the surface, wait! Spoiler alert! This game is an emotional roller coaster, exploring the life of a woman who lost her child and whose husband is later diagnosed with Alzheimer's. This island is a realized memory land with several safe zone areas depicting different stages of her life. Young in-love teenagers where she first meets her husband Andrew, young new parents simply enjoying every moment with their child Danny, later in life after her son passes away when both her and her husband Andrew devote themselves to their career, and their marriage starts to fall apart. In the last segment of her life, we explore the difficulties of Andrew being diagnosed with Alzheimer's and having to now take care of a new child as she compares it. The gameplay mechanics are simple. Each stage of life, that's 4 stages, has 4 mirages, and each mirage has an accompanying item in the game world to collect for completion, with an accompanying minigame for each item. That's 14 mirages and 14 paired items minigames in total. The compass in your hand can switch between stages of life and 1 out of 4 artifacts per stage to guide you through the island. But after slogging through the island for a couple minutes, you're faced with the embodied fears of Anna, a giant floating black servitor eyeball thing that seeks out to incapacitate you and start you off at the last stage of life safe zone that you were at. When this eyeball seeks you out, you must face it head on. Don't run at it, because you will die, but just keep your distance while keeping your cursor directly on it at all times. And poof, magic. After restoring every mirage in a specific stage of life, you are rewarded with a will-o'-the-wisp-like ball that then floats towards the center of the island, removing a portion of the dark shroud, preventing you from getting near this giant freighter waterfall thing. I'm sorry, but I failed to see the actual significance on this one. If the freighter actually does play some role in the story, please leave me a comment below and tell me. I'd love to know. And feel free to call me a fool while you're at it. However, after unlocking every stage of life, you find a boat underneath the shade of the freighter that then takes you to the final portion of the game, or what I call acceptance. The cold, sad, awful, horrible realization that life is mostly shit. So we must embrace the moments that aren't shit. Yeah, I got kids, okay? I wasn't planning on crying today. I just wanted to enjoy myself and play a game and make some new content for you all, but hey, here we are. I'm gonna start with the bad first because, well, the game wasn't exactly for me, so I found a lot to complain about. First, it's a hell of a slog through the island, man. The difference between running and walking is so negligible, it just feels tedious having to run all over the island back and forth over and over again, honestly. Also, the voice acting. It wasn't awful, but I think the direction or the choices made by the voice actress just felt a bit too forced. In theater, we call it heightened emotions, not overacting, but overemphasizing a particular emotion. But when we completely already understand the emotion, your son died. Yeah, we know. You're feeling like shit, but you don't need to force it on us. All right, we get it. Also, what the fuck? Apparently ankle-deep water is a metaphor for suicide or something? Overall, the biggest complaint about the game is that it is far too long-winded for how little actual content it has. 95% of the game is just walking and running to the next island point. Last, for the bad, the game design was a bit choppy, as I often found lots of invisible collision items, or a rocky collision boundary going way outside of its physical image. The collision was just very choppy and rough in the game. The good. Some of the minigames for each artifact were rather interesting and fun, in a Roblox obby kind of way. Also, the sound design was great. The music was wonderfully world-setting, and the actual underlying narrative was beautiful, in a very melancholy kind of way, but still, it told a great story. It just didn't feel like 2 sentences of voiceover was a great reward system for all my time. Overall, I completed the entire game in roughly 2 hours. For 15 bucks, that just feels like a waste of money. That money could have gone to another game with much more playtime and replay factor. So I give it a 3.5 out of 5 Chads. If this game goes on sale for much cheaper or is packaged in a bundle, I'd recommend it, but just unfortunately, I don't feel like there's enough content in the game to justify it. It's artificially extended by adding a mess of walking, which just felt like a time barrier. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you want to see other videos like this for new upcoming games, grab a sub and hit the bell for future notifications to stay current with all the new videos. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.